Hey guys, this is Jim. I'm going to do a video real quick. Some of my thoughts on bug out bags. Somebody mentioned it on one of my other videos, and I figured it was probably time I start doing some different videos besides pipe tobacco. Bug out bags, or bob bags, whatever you want to call them, get out of Dodge bags. There's more than enough resources on the internet for you to determine what you need to have in your bag. There's certain things that you must have. Bare minimum, you must have food, water, some kind of shelter. Another thing to keep in mind is a lot of people go overboard on these bug out bags. The ideal is that this is going to be a 72-hour bag, is another name for it. You don't need to put everything and the kitchen sink in this bag. It is supposed to get you from point A to point B, and that's it. You're not supposed to be planning on surviving the apocalypse with a bug out bag. With that in mind, let's begin. A couple things I want to address. I usually try to live by a rule of threes when it comes to things like this. Light. You must have light. You're probably going to have to be moving at night. Depending on what the situation is, I'm not going to get into scenarios. Just plan ahead. Lights. I'm a big fan of the new LEDs. Aluminum casing, standard, tried and true Maglite durability. Plus, these new LEDs have an added feature, which I like. They've got a bright setting, a moderate setting, a blinking setting, and an SOS setting. Automatic signaling. Are you kidding me? You gotta get one of these. And it's an LED, so it's gonna last you a good long time. I don't remember the last time I changed the batteries in this. And I use it all the time. 100 hours, probably. Something like that. Stoves. If you decide you're gonna cook, it's up to you. You could just carry MREs, eat them cold, or add water. Do whatever you like. If you're going to get a stove, I'm a big fan of MSR stoves. Why? Because they have exhibition. Ugh, why is that word sticking in my throat? Rated stoves. This is an XGK. They take these up on mountains, on Everest, K2, and test them. This stove will burn any kind of fuel you put in it. Diesel fuel, JP, aircraft fuel, kerosene. It'll burn damn near anything. It'll burn unleaded fuel. It'll burn white fuel. It'll burn Coleman fuel. It'll burn anything. If you're going to take a stove, spend the money and get a stove that is going to work. And decent canisters. Enough. Another thing I'm a big fan of, Stanley thermoses. I'm going to be cooking for multiple people, so I keep in mind I got to keep my fuel consumption down. You can cook in these, and they're durable as all hell. They're like bomb-proof. You can cook in the thermos. Look it up. I don't have time to be talking about all this stuff. Do a little bit of homework, but keep Stanley thermoses in mind. Cordage. Can't say enough about 550 cord. Good luck breaking it. You can carry a lot in a very small space, and there's smaller cords inside, which means this does double duty. Fishing line, the like. Clothing. I'm not going to get too much into the clothing. Technical clothing or wool. Layers. You've got to be warm. Footwear. I recommend having boots and socks tied to your bug out bag. You don't want to be running around in street shoes if you're having to bug out. Your boots must be broken in. Don't tie a brand new pair of boots to your bug out bag, because then you're going to be digging moleskin out of your bag and having to deal with blisters and uncomfortableness. The situation's uncomfortable already. Get a pair of boots that fit like a glove that are broken in. Blades. Again, rule of threes. 3 sources of light. I had a headlamp here. I don't know where I tossed it. Probably covered it up with something. Who knows where it is? Lights. 3 sources of light. 3 ways to start fire. Here's a magnesium fire starter. I recommend Dome. They're the best. Here's a Swedish steel. You can't really go wrong with these. And here's a Bic lighter. That's 3 sources of fire, and it fits in the palm of my hand. Note, you must know how to use these before the shit hits the fan. Don't get out there in the middle of the shit. You're cold, you're hungry, you're tired, your kids are complaining, you might be ducking somebody, and you're trying to figure out how to make this crap work. Get out in the backyard, figure out how to make a fire before the shit hits the fan. Back to blades. I'm a big fan of blades. I love knives. I collect them. Here's a Cold Steel Recon 1. Very durable knife. Fits in the pocket, but it's also very, very durable. Swiss Army knives. Tried and true. Plus it's red. We're not tactical. We're trying to survive. We're trying to bug out. This is red. It's easy to see if you drop it. If you do get a knife like this, tie a brightly colored length of cord to it in the lanyard hole. All modern knives, most of them have lanyard holes. If you're on a budget, Frost, stainless steel, Swedish made steel, survival knife. You're going to pay 10, 20 bucks tops for one of these kind of knives. It'll fit on a belt. Very, very light. When it comes to blades, some people really get in romanticize things. Now this is my personal collection. I didn't even buy this. Somebody bought this for me. It was a gift. Cold Steel Trailmaster Bowie. Great knife. However, when you consider the weight of this, this kukri, also from Cold Steel, would probably serve you much better. It's going to be much better for chopping, and it'll do all the jobs that Trailmaster will do, and it's cheaper. In the long run, I think you'd be better served with smaller knives, such as the Frost, or a knife like this. This I got at the Cold Steel sale. It's a Cold Steel Master Hunter, carbon 5 steel. It's small, but it's got quite a spine on it. Very durable, small and light. Excellent sheath. Excellent sheath. Good retention. I am a big fan of the hatchet and small knife combo. Trying to use a survival knife to do hatchet duty is ridiculous. You can get a Wetterling's hatchet and a small knife, and the added weight is going to pay off when you need to chop something down. Plus that hatchet can do a little bit of double duty in the weapon scenario if we're going to think about that. I'm not going to get too much into it. Water. You must have 3 liters minimum of water a day. You will be working. Don't worry about bathing. You're worried about drinking water. Camelbacks, big 3-liter camelbacks, can't be beat for carrying, for ease of use. It's 72 hours. You don't need to be worrying about bathing. You don't really have to be worrying about washing dishes too much. It's survival. You're on your way somewhere, fast moving. But you will need water, you will need food. I'll leave it up to you for food. Canned food's okay. Energy bars are okay. You're going to need 3,000, 3,500 calories a day. You're going to be on the move. You're going to be stressed. Your calorie intake is going to go up. Your calorie needs are going to go up, so your calorie intake must correspond. MREs are good. Make up your mind. Look into it yourself. But do my rules as far as threes. 3 lights, 3 modes of fire, 3 blades. It's easy to carry 3 blades. I can carry these in my pockets. I can have a belt knife, a fixed blade. 3 sources of fire starting. Know how to use them. Make your kit and get out and use it. Know how everything works and be comfortable with all your gear before anything happens. That's something that people overlook all the time, and I do not agree with it. You have to get out there. I've had survival training, and I know it to be true. You can't just fill a bag with crap that you've never seen before then, and never look at it again until the shit hits the fan, you're doomed. So practice in your backyard or wherever. Talk more about it later.